All right, guys. So Kamala Harris went on 60 Minutes and did a great job of embarrassing herself on national TV when discussing if she's going to push Biden to the left on some of his policies. And you can tell that she was very, very, very uncomfortable with this question because she got directly called out on her voting record in regards to aligning with socialists like Bernie Sanders in her voting record. But before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching a Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys, take a look at this interview from 60 Minutes with Kamala Harris, in which she talks about if she's going to push Biden to the left.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
Yeah. Well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal. You supported Medicare for all. You've supported legalizing marijuana. Joe Biden doesn't support those things. So are you going to bring the policies, those progressive policies that you supported as senator, into a Biden administration?
what I will do, and I promise you this, and this is what Joe wants me to do, this was part of our deal. I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. No, it is the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America, who was also a prosecutor, who also has a mother who arrived here at the age of 19 from India, who also, likes hip hop. Like, what do you want to know?
Well, I want to give you the opportunity to address this, because at the Republican National Convention, President Trump made the case that Joe Biden is going to be nothing more than a Trojan horse for socialist policies, for the left wing of the Democratic Party. Are you going to push those policies when you're vice president of the United States?
I am not going to be confined to Donald Trump's definition of who I or anybody else is. And I think America has learned that that would be a mistake.
So just to button that up, because you have fought for Medicare for all. That's not something that Joe Biden supports. If you become vice president, would you say to a President Biden, you know what, we should really be pushing for Medicare for all, not a public option. That's just not going to do it. That's not my value.
I would not have joined the ticket if I didn't support what Joe was proposing. And so our plan includes expanding on everything that Joe, together with President Obama, created with the Affordable Care Act. By contrast, you have Donald Trump, who's in court right now trying to get rid of a policy that brought health care to over 20 million people, including protecting people with pre-existing conditions, and he's doing it in the middle of a pandemic that has killed over 215,000 Americans.
God, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing for her. Like, somebody tell me, was she crying or was she laughing? Like, Kamala does this weird thing when she gets uncomfortable. She starts to do this like cackling, where she starts to cackle in, then starts to go into politician mode. Well, hey guys, look at me. I'm Kamala Harris, and I'm black, and I'm Indian, by the way, but I claim black when it's convenient, but other times I'm Indian. Also, did I mention I like rap? I guess that means I'm black, right? I'm Kamala Harris. I was a prosecutor. That's what she does. And she gets very, very uncomfortable, and it's just weird and it's awkward. And it comes off just very, very fake. Just so fake. This is what they go into politician mode when they get uncomfortable. And clearly Kamala Harris was uncomfortable. It's very simple. Kamala, do you support Medicare for all like you have before? And are you going to push Joe Biden in that direction? That's the question. And that's a simple yes or no. And I believe that she is not giving an answer on that because she knows where her real positions lie. She wants a socialized, single payer, Medicare for all system where there's no private insurance at all, no competition in the market, that is physically liberal in healthcare, that is not going to be focused on lowering the waste, fraud, and abuse that's currently in the healthcare system that we have. Quite honestly, guys, I think there is a fiscally conservative argument to be made for a public option. And I can make a video about that on another day, but that's not what the Democrats are doing. The Democrats are trying to play this game where they're trying to say, we kind of want a public option, but we also kind of want Bernie Sanders' plan as well. And she's trying to play fence sitter, where she's trying to not piss off the progressives and the socialists, while at the same time trying to play role as a moderate Democrat. And I really wish she would stop doing that. And I really wish she would define exactly what she believes, because that to me tells me that the conservative right-wing think tanks are right. That a public option is just a one-way trip to single-payer healthcare where the government pays for everything and there's no private insurance. There's no competition in the marketplace. That's what it makes me think. It makes me think that's exactly what you want. We don't want the federal government controlling the whole healthcare system. That's not what we want. We're at a point in our country, guys, where we're at a all-time level of debt. Take a look at this chart from Fred, guys. This is data from the Federal Reserve. The total public debt as a percentage of GDP is over 130%, guys. I mean, we literally cannot afford to keep piling on these massive amounts of debt. We just can't. We cannot continue to do it, guys. And these Democrats, with their plans of keeping these shutdowns going, with no real plans on how they're going to open up the economy, no real plans on how we're going to cut into this deficit, right? They want to keep spending more money while at the same time keeping the economy closed. That's going to keep ballooning the deficit. And we're over $27 trillion in debt. So it's very, very important that she defines where she's at, because if you're going to try to implement these socialized policies, you literally might bankrupt us. Anybody going to the polls should be very, very wary of this possibility. They have not offered any plans to actually try to address the debt. And that's something that we're actually going to have to do at some point. We're going to have to address the debt. Our politicians really need to become more fiscally responsible in a real way in terms of how we're addressing this debt, and to start to really think about where we're headed as a country from a fiscal standpoint, especially when discussing their policies. Kamala Harris really embarrassed herself in this interview. She always loves to pull that race card, that victim card when things aren't going her way. And it's just sad. It's just sad. It's just so embarrassing to even just watch. And it's so important because this is going to be a Harris-Biden administration, guys. When you vote for Joe Biden, this is who you're voting for. You're voting for Kamala Harris. And I just watched her squirm under pressure when asked just a simple question about what is your policy position. All you got to do is just say, I supported Medicare for all for X, Y, and Z reason, Bernie Sanders' plan, but now I support Joe Biden's plan for X, Y, and Z reason. She can't even make a simple argument about that. It just goes to show that we don't really know what we're getting under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I mean, Joe doesn't even know what we're getting under Joe's administration. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.